Welcome back, everyone. Today we've got somebody I call the dentist to the stars. I think other people also call him that. I've seen it being said online. Dr. Norman Cahi, welcome.
Thank you, guys. It's so nice to be here. It's such an honor to be chatting to such great dentists such as you are.
Norman, you've been, well, yeah, Yak's the real dentist here. But anyway, you've been in practice for decades now.
45 years.
45 years.
Yeah, I'll be 65 soon.
I mean, when did you start practicing? At the age of like 10 or something?
25.
Hold on, 45 years. So, I mean, how old are you? I mean,
I'm 65.
Yeah.
So I've been in the profession 45 years. I started my career in 1979 at Wits.
Yeah.
Qualified in 84. And in those days, we had to do military service. I did 2 years in the military service and then went straight into private practice. There was no humming and hawing and messing around. But, those were the days when you could get overdrafts. A young dental student, I could go into the bank and the banker would be, bankroll me. So it was easy. Today, it's very tough for the guys.
Yeah.
Very, very tough to start squatting from scratch.
Do you love being a dentist?
I don't know if I'd use that word love. I enjoy it. It's been good to me. There've been challenges. I've had some very rough times. But it's allowed me portability, mobility. It enabled me to emigrate. I took my young family to England in 93 when things were hairy here, just before the democratic elections. The Whites were very panicky, and so I took my family to London. In those days, I could practice easily.
Hold on, you're white, right? I'm just checking. I'm just making
about.
Sure.
I'm on the border.
Yeah.
What's called? I mean, is it spelled? Is it Cahi or
Cahi, like the trans Cahi?
Yeah.
It's an unusual surname. I'm obviously South African, but I'm Lebanese in ancestry.
Okay.
So my grandparents came from Lebanon. We are Christian. We're Catholic. I grew up with the Jews. I grew up with the Muslims. I grew up in Bloemfontein. It was a very Afrikaans, verkrampte place in the days of apartheid.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm the better man for it. I have no prejudice. My parents taught me to get on with everyone, respect everyone, color, culture, creed. Until today, I mean, there's so much problems in the world, all based on bloody religion, that thank God I'm brought up in a very non-prejudicial way. So I'm very grateful to my parents for that.
So Lebanese then, because sometimes, when I look at your posts and the shirtless there on the beach in in Greece, it almost looks like you're Indian. You look like
I love the sun. I worship the sun.
I think you tan easily.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons I came back from London. I couldn't take that cold, that misery, that grey, that wet, that dark. It worked on me. It actually affected me. I suffered from SAD. Seasonal affective disorder, I needed the sun. And today, I'm privileged enough to be able to spend at least an hour or so in the sun every morning. So I get up at 5, I have my coffee, I go to gym, I come back and I sit in a coffee shop in the open air, and I just reflect on my life, reflect on my blessings. I keep a gratitude journal. I've done business development, and I use that time to reflect and, just plan my life, plan my future.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, you definitely don't look your age.
Thank you.
You look like you're in your late 40s at most.
You're my man.
So we'll delve deeper into what your resume is, including your diet.
Yeah.
But just on that note, you were talking about going to London at that stage. I know we would ask end around here with this interview, but was it easy to just go into London like that?
Look, getting into a practice in London was easy, but it certainly wasn't easy emigrating. With my wife, we were youngsters. We were in our early 30s. We had 2 toddlers. We had been brought up in a very privileged lifestyle, as you can imagine, during the apartheid years. So we were used to having servants and drivers and helpers and nannies. But it was brave. It was very brave on our behalf. I took my wife and kids. I give full credit to my wife. She never batted an eyelid. She never questioned my decision. I gave up my practice and we emigrated. We went to London. I got a great job with an ex-South African. To this day, I'm very friendly with him. In fact, I'll be seeing him next week. He's coming out for a visit. And I worked under the NHS, under my own number. But in those days, you could do NHS and private together. And I earned well. I worked hard. I earned well. It allowed us to travel. We experienced life in a different country, but it was tough. It was hard. Most of my friends were Jewish, and they were all in North London, so that's where I settled. I'm still very friendly with them. They're my most amazing lifelong comrades and brothers. But when it came to Christmas or Easter, we were alone. It wasn't like on Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur or whatever. They all got together. They went to the shul. They had a community. We were alone. So my kids were a bit rootless. I couldn't explain to them. They were 2 and 4. I couldn't explain to them whether they're South African, whether they were British, whether they were Lebanese, whether, it was becoming... And they missed their grandparents. We come from enmeshed families. Both my wife and I come from incredibly close families. I mean, the Indian families are very similar to Middle Eastern families. So we found it tough, but we stood our ground and we managed to stick the 6 years out. We managed to all become British citizens, which today is the most valuable thing I've ever given my kids, is their British passport. So much so that my kids tease me, because for years after we came back to South Africa, every year on their birthdays to wrap up their British passport. And I gave it to Chelsea and Norman and I said, this is your inheritance.
Yeah.
And it's proved right.
Yeah. Did you get citizenship?
Yes, of course. Me, my wife, my children, and their children will get it.
Wow.
So it's been an invaluable experience for me. And I look back with gratitude, because it taught us tolerance, it taught us humility, it taught us that family life is not just togetherness, not just being physically together, but cooperating, mutual respect, going through hardships together. It was really tough.
What was the goal, leaving South Africa and going to the UK? To get that citizenship, or was the plan to live?
No, the plan was to live. We were terrified. We didn't know what was going to go on here. We thought a revolution is coming. My parents, with all respect, encouraged us to go. They said, look, you've got to get out of here for your children's sake. You can always come back. We never burnt our bridges, thank God. We never took our kids off the school lists here. And we went knowing that we were emigrating for good. It was really hard. But we used to come back every year in December to this glorious weather, and then have to go back in January. It was freezing. It was wet. It was raining. The kids were miserable. They had ear infections. They had throat infections. We were left all alone. It was really, really taxing, especially on my wife, because, as a dentist, what do? We sit in a cubicle and we look down a hole. And we're filling and drilling and billing, and you know what I mean? I was relatively happy. But she had to go through the rigmarole of the grind, filling up your own car, taking the kids out of their car seats, taking them to shop, putting them back in their car seats.
It's funny you mentioned filling your own car. Eh? We take that for granted.
We take it for granted. It was the biggest story. I actually didn't know how to fill up my car at the beginning.
No, I don't know how to. Yeah.
But
also, you know what? I prefer filling up my own car, because you know why?
Now you know what you do.
No, nowadays when I go there, I never have cash on me. And I want to tip the guys, and then you can't tip them, and I feel terrible. It's such a random thing, but I wish I could fill my own. Yeah.
Oh, so where do you get the opportunity to fill your own car?
No, I'm saying I wish I could.
I see.
Because now we have to tip a guy, right? It comes to fill the tank up. It's just such a random thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but why 6 years then? So what happened?
You've got to live in London consistently for 5 years minimum before you can apply for a British passport. So after the first 3 years, you get a stamp in your passport, which is called indefinite leave to remain, which gives you then access to live and work in London, but it doesn't give you citizenship. You have to be 5 years to the day. So the clock starts when you land, when you emigrate, and the clock ends exactly 5 years to the day. They're very pedantic. So we stayed for those 5 years, and we stayed an extra year, and we actually achieved our British passports.
And then decided, let's come back.
Yeah. We then decided, look, we've had it, we've achieved it, we've traveled, but the kids need to know their grandparents, know their extended families. We miss the weather.
And you realized that the country was okay?
We realized it was reasonable. The people were still living well. We're still living well.
Yeah.
We're living in a very privileged, super privileged bubble. But look, financially it wasn't the right decision.
Okay.
There's no question.
You're coining it there in the UK.
Well, I was earning well.
Yeah.
30 years ago, I was earning £8,000-9,000 a month. That's a lot of money. So I was earning well. I had a home, which we sold. And that was a mistake. Financially, we didn't do the right thing. To be wealthy in South Africa doesn't mean anything internationally, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But to be wealthy in sterling is something that you can't laugh at.
Yeah, the pound is strong.
Yeah, the pound is strong. And I still love London. It's our favorite city. We go back every year. As it happens, my son used his British passport. He's gone back to London. He lives in Marylebone. He's got a home there. And so he's there. And we go back very often, at least once a year, and we love it. We love the British.
So what brought you back? The people? Yeah.
No, our family.
Yeah, okay.
Our family. We wanted to be back in the sunshine with our family. Our kids went to Catholic schools when we got back because we are Catholic. It was just a family decision. Yeah. My wife wasn't happy. You know, it affected our marriage. You know, you've got to really be rock solid for immigration to be successful. And ours was successful, but it took its toll. So we came back, we put our kids in good schools in Johannesburg. We came back to live close to our parents. And I'm not sorry. I mean, our kids are stable, secure, drug-free, you know, good human beings. Yeah. Which I don't know if it would have happened in the UK. I mean, I'm not sure if Chelsea would have become a dentist if we stayed in the UK. Only the Lord knows where my son would have ended up because he was a bit of a rebel. But today, I'm grateful. I look at them and I know, well, we've done a good job, reasonable job.
Yeah, well done. Well, thankfully. You never know how it can go, eh?
You never know.
So you mentioned Chelsea, becoming a dentist. What made you become a dentist? Like your parents? What did your parents?
Yeah, my parents were very influential.
Where are you from? Tell us this at the beginning.
Okay, I was born in a small little dorpie. You know that word dorpie?
Yeah.
A little village, a hamlet called Jamestown. My parents used to run a little country.
Where's Jamestown?
It's in the Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
Tiny little place near Aliwal North, near Elliot.
Yeah.
You're good.
I know this.
My dad was born in Elliot.
Oh, wow.
And they had the Cahi Central Hotel, that's what it was named, in Jamestown. And it was a hotel. And my mom and dad, you know, were running the hotel. And I was born in a room right next to the kitchen. My mother was cooking until the last second of labor. And all of a sudden, they called the midwife and they took her next door to a room basically next to the kitchen. And I was born in a room with a midwife. No hoo-ha, no epidural, no Caesars, no anything. And I was born at lunchtime. And my mom's always teased me. She said, you know, you've never been late for a meal since the day you were born. You were born next to a kitchen at lunchtime. And that was you've never been late for a meal since then. So I was born there.
And ironically, your brother's name is Emile.
Easy Emile. Yeah, that's right.
That's a good one. Yeah.
He was born in hospital in Bloemfontein because we had then moved to Bloemfontein. And so we moved from Jamestown to a bigger dorpie called Reddersburg in the middle of the Free State. And then, of course, we hit the big city. Bloemfontein was then considered a major city. And my dad ran liquor stores, bottle stores. That was in the days before Pick n Pay had licenses to sell liquor. So he was successful. He was an influential businessman. He built the first shopping mall in Bloemfontein in Free State. They were very affluent people. I was privileged. But they were ordinary people, but they lived extraordinary lives. They taught me the most unbelievable lessons. You know, I am what I am because of what I've learned from my parents, as I'm sure you are. You know, they were solid.
Can you break that down first? What do you mean? How were they extraordinary?
You know, they taught us that in the world of plastic, you need to show steel. You need to be platinum. They taught us...
So value system. Basically.
Values. You know, they said always speak cleanly, think clearly, act sincerely, never compromise your integrity. You know, these salt of the earth, basic human values. Obviously, they taught us, even though being in the liquor business and liquor was freely available, none of us drank. I'm one of four. We never drank. We never smoked. It was a very carefree, stress-free childhood. I mean, when I look back and I see the stress that young parents are under today, stress was not even a word that came into our vocabulary. You know, I had a wonderful childhood, very secure. I was in one school from grade 0 to matric. We traveled, we went on holidays every year. We had family traditions and rituals which bind family together. And I think that's what success is. I've always said my dad and mom never taught us how to live. They just lived and allowed us to watch them. And it was such a privilege, such an honor to see how they conducted their life with such dignity, such politeness, such kindness, such charity, that today I fret for them. I really, really miss them. I lost them, and part of my life has been gone since out of my life. They were incredibly, incredibly enmeshed within who I am today.
Yeah, well, it does translate, to, we were speaking earlier about how my interpretation of who you are with me first coming into Joburg was and you as a person, besides your practice, was synonymous with quality and moral values in dentistry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I can see that's how you are with Chelsea as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, you hold family values, and
Thank you, yeah.
close to you.
Thank you.
Which is brilliant.
When I think of you, I think of warmth. Like you're a warm person.
Very.
So maybe
that
might explain why the UK didn't work out. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, they're not warm.
Yeah.
I love the British people. They're a civilized society, but warmth is not their attribute.
Yeah, you know why I think of that? Because when I was at one of these law firms where we had a UK home base, right, a headquarters, and I used to work in Santon, and one of the guys came over on traineeship or whatever you call it, and he said to me, the interesting thing that he noticed about Joburg is that everybody greets you, like when you walk.
Absolutely.
And I said to him, you know what, Joburg has a reputation for being one of the more colder cities in the country, But it's just, it's all about perspective.
No,
right?
South Africans are warm.
Yeah, that's what I love about us.
The South Africans in London are so well liked. They headhunted because of their integrity, their honesty, their business ethics. Absolutely, we're hardworking and we're respectful and we're humble and we get on with everybody and we're very warm.
That's what I think I would miss. You mentioned your parents and then were encouraging you guys to leave at that stage. Similarly here, I know family that have encouraged us to pack up and move.
Absolutely.
And I said, I'll miss the people here.
You will.
And I feel it is a brave thing to actually emigrate because...
It's very brave.
It's
tough.
You know nobody. Okay.
No.
So you didn't think of getting into the hoteling business or hotel?
No.
Liquor?
No, when I was younger, my parents always strongly suggested to me a medical degree.
Why?
I suppose in those days, being a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant it still is. There's my son, the doctor, there's my son, the accountant.
Okay, you think it still is? All right.
It is, definitely. Although today you're encouraging your kids to go into IT because of AI.
Yeah.
It's different today. I mean, medicine today isn't what it was. So I was brought up believing that either law or medicine would be good for me. My principal at the time said I should do law.
Right.
He said I could speak the hind legs off a donkey and I should go into law. And I was just interested in medicine, actually. Dentistry never entered into the realm of my thinking. But we did have family friends that had dentists. And my parents obviously did a bit of discussing. And then they planted the seed. They said, you want to be a family man. You don't want to be called out at all hours of the night. Those were the days when doctors did house calls. You don't want to be dealing with life and death. It may sound simple reasons, but it twisted my mind. And I thought, well, I'll give dentistry a try, I wasn't a piano player. I wasn't very digitally, dexterous, but it was something I've learned over the time. It caused me a lot of stress, as you know, the 5.5 years at dental school. It was tough. The tutors were horrific.
Yeah.
It was ruthless. I can't say I enjoyed my university life. I really, really worked hard to get on. But I had a successful university life. I still mixed with the students that I qualified with. I became president of the Dental Student Council. I enjoyed popularity. And I've got lifelong friends, 45 years we've been in friends and tight friendship.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only one still in South Africa. They're all over the world, highly successful. They're all very wealthy people today. I'm the poorest of the lot because I've earned my money in rands. They're in sterling and dollars and Australian dollars and Canadian dollars and Dubai and, so, but I don't think they're any happier. I don't think they're happier than I am. In fact, a lot of them envy me and say, we miss South Africa. We've got Africa in our blood. We'd give anything to come back. But, I mean, they won't, after all these years. So I changed my decision and I applied for dentistry. In those days, in 83 and in 78 and 79, it was extremely tough to get into Wits for dentistry. And we were told not to expect anything because they accept 1 in 20 applications. So, and they only took 60 students and they got thousands of entries. In those days, thousands of people wanted to do dentistry. But it's funny, in the 70s, it was white Jewish males.
Okay.
Today, it's Muslim females that are doing dentistry. Oh, yes. If you look at Wits Dental School today, it's mostly young ladies that are Muslim or Indian.
Yeah, we spoke about this before.
Yeah. But when in my day, it was all Jewish male. So the whole demographics
Have we spoke about
changed.
this? No.
Yeah, there's one of our previous guests. He was a doctor, but he does. It's almost like what do you call it? Public health.
Yes, community health.
Yeah, like community health.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the amount of graduates that come out, the percentage of them that actually drop out of the
a lot drop out.
Postgraduate.
Oh, postgraduate.
Yeah.
Well, we were 60 when we joined, when we started, and we were only about 40 when we finished. So 20 dropped out or changed direction.
And where were you? How did you get to Joburg, actually? Because you were in Bloemfontein.
Well, Bloemfontein had no dental school. So my options, and Stellenbosch was it was an Afrikaans university and there was no dental school. So I had the choices between Western Cape, Wits, and I don't even know if KwaZulu-Natal did dentistry. Pretoria did dentistry, but in Afrikaans. So, and all my mom's family were from Johannesburg. So she had all her family here. So it was a natural choice for me. So I applied to Wits and I got in at the very last minute. I wasn't pre-accepted like my esteemed colleagues. It wasn't an easy thing, but I got in. I arrived at orientation week. It was very daunting coming from a small little school. I was at Christian Brothers College, very small matric class, small little place, coming to Wits, living on my own. My parents were fantastic. They were very progressive thinking. They rented a flat for me. They bought a car for me. I mean, they were just... and incredible. Gave me all the support. And at school, I did well. I mean, I matriculated with good marks. That's why I got into dentistry. And I got into dentistry and we did a chemistry test. The orientation week was February and I think March was my first chemistry test. And I got 32%. And you know what that does to, when you think you're a big fish.
Yeah.
I come from CBC Bloemfontein. I was a head boy. I thought it was some big shot. I got 32%. I phoned my mother that night. There were no cell phones. I waited till I got home to my flat. I said, Mom, I'm giving up. There's no ways I'm going back. 32%. They can keep dentistry. The next morning, I opened my eyes. I found my mother looking at me. She flew from Bloemfontein to me and she said, over my dead body, will you give up this degree? You will go back tomorrow, you will finish your degree, and you will become a successful dentist. I never questioned her. I never opened my mouth. I was terrified of her. And it proved right. I went back, I put my head to the grindstone, and I worked.
Yeah.
I did one or two subs along the way, supplementaries, but I finished my course in the full 5.5 years. I had a great university life in terms of not enjoyment, but I was successful. I was given the Siemens award. They used to give awards to 5 top students. And I could choose any dental school in the world to go and study and do an elective.
Wow.
And I chose Harvard because of the reputation. It was an incredible experience. I spent a few months at Harvard. I did my American board exams. I passed that. And it was just such a thrill. In fact, one of my most prized possessions is a picture of me standing outside Harvard Dental School. You know,
that is amazing. Is that still around?
Yeah, Harvard, absolutely.
No, I mean this exchange thing that
I don't think they do it anymore. It's so sad. The whole dental fraternity is different. The campus, the ethos, the atmosphere. I mean, we were like a family. It was it was in Bramley. I don't know if you know where our university, where our dental school used to be. In Bramley, there's a Catholic church there. It's totally different. You guys you studied out the country. You studied...
I was at Tux.
You were at Tux, so it's different, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, now what we know now is that it's still at the med school.
It's at the med school now. It wasn't there. We were separate. We were in Bloemfontein, and we had a dental hospital. So we were like a big family, everybody knew each other. Today, I don't think they'd offer those awards. I don't know. We used to get medals at the end of the year and certificates, and they awarded us.
Can you practice in America then with that?
I used to be. I mean, I could have, but I never did the conversion of the practical exam. I did all my American board exams in all the subjects, and I passed all of them. And the last final stage was actually going to do a practical exam. But then the army called. I came back and I did the army. And
So you served in the army?
Yes, 2 years I did military service.
Did you have to fight and stuff?
No, because if you're a dentist, you become a lieutenant and you practice as a dentist. So no, I didn't do any
So you
combat.
practiced.
practiced
Yeah,
as
that's
a
something
dentist.
interesting I found out recently. Even if you're a chef in the army,
Yeah.
you get a title like
Yes,
colonel.
lieutenant, yeah. You get either 1 pip or 2 pips, you become a lieutenant. And I mean, we did basic training for the first 6 weeks.
Can you shoot? Can you
I
fire?
can't do anything.
Yeah, but there was training, right?
Yeah, there was
There was
training.
arms training.
Yeah,
I
but
went
don't
for an
ask me
interview.
to hold a rifle or a firearm.
Jerry Seinfeld's father was
Was a dentist.
no, he was in the fiction series, he was a chef in the army,
Oh,
and
really?
he got everyone sick. Sorry, that's a side note.
No, the army was a leveler. It wasn't a pleasant experience, but I mean, it
And
was.
where was that? In
We first did it in Potchefstroom. The first 6 weeks in Potch was where all the medics and dentists went.
yeah.
And we crooked the system. I mean, it was unbelievable. You know, when we went for our medicals, you can't believe what we used to do. Put sugar in our urine before it got dipped, and you can't believe. And they took us for X-rays, and they were so idiotic. The army
Why?
guys.
What was it like a
Well,
qualification?
because they
first?
qualify you as K1, G1. In other words, you're super fit.
Yeah.
If you become a K1, G1, that means you can
Then you have
fight.
to serve. Yeah.
And if you become a K3, G3, that means you're almost an invalid. If you're a K4, they send you home. And
So,
I was as
trying to
fit and
prove
strong as I was.
diabetes.
I made sure I became a K3, G3.
Yeah.
They called me a pen pusher. Jy weet daardie Kai, hy kan niks doen nie. Toppel. They wouldn't even let me wear my water bottle at the back
Yeah.
because it was too heavy for my back. Because when we went for X-rays,
Yeah.
I mean, just to show you their level of stupidity, I bent over like this. So they said to me,
Kyphosis.
you've got kyphosis and scoliosis. The hearing test, they smacked an instrument and put it by my ear. My whole head was vibrating. I never budged. Hy's doof, hy kan nie sien nie. Hierdie Kai, they tell me, they said, look, you're just one step away from being discharged from the army. So you crooked the system, you know.
And then private practice after that. What happens?
Yeah, after army, I bought a practice in Bramley North, which is in Johannesburg. And I went straight into practice. I was so green. I was so naive. I mean, what I did, God help those patients, because I don't know what I did to them or put them through. But I couldn't have been too bad, because still today people are finding me after all these years and said, Norman, we found you and you left the country and we've been so searching for you. So I'm very honored and humbled, you know. I mean, I enjoy a wonderful relationship with my parents, with my patients. I've got this rapport. And I probably think that's one of my unique selling points, is not my clinical competency. You know, a lot of people can become clinical competent, but I think it's the soft skills that are so important. The way you talk, the way you approach the people, your empathy, your understanding, being sensitive to the needs and feelings of people less privileged than yourself. I mean, I'm acutely aware of the privileged lifestyle I've had, of the education I've received, of the knowledge I've got, of the wisdom I was given. So I firmly believe in giving back. You must give back. You must be kind. You must be charitable. And we do a lot of charity in our practice. Yes, our average dental procedures are not cheap. We give a good service and we charge a reasonable rate for it. But then to make up, we are extremely charitable. We do a lot of pro bono work.
How do you maintain that sort of warmth and connection when, you know, dental patients are notorious for coming and sitting on the chair and saying, I hate the dentist, before they even greet you?
All day we're hearing that.
Still.
Till today. Till today, as kind and as nice as I am, Norman, we love you, but we hated the dentist. And we hate what you do, and we hate it, and it's very demoralizing. It's, you know, I've been close to burnout a few times in my life, where I've got to the point where I was depressed, I was anxious, I was stressed, I was emotionally drained, I was mentally strained, I was physically broken. I mean, it's a very hard profession physically on your body. You know, your neck, your back, your posture, your hips, your hands. It's extremely demanding, as you will find out as you go in your...
So how do you stay in that for 45 years?
Well, it's tough.
Well, so you journal and all that stuff?
I journal, I travel, as you guys know, I travel a lot now. I mean, I couldn't earlier. Now that my kids are grown up and independent, my wife and I can travel all over the world, which I love. I'm not very materialistic. I don't have to buy watches and Lamborghinis and cars. Not that I can afford it, but I mean, I wouldn't. I spend my money on travel.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, I love your travel stuff.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I always try to find out where is he now.
Oh, really?
But anyway, just back to what you were saying. I mean, I have an unpopular opinion amongst my colleagues that anyone can do dentistry, but to be able to be a successful dentist is not just about those clinical
Definitely
skills.
not.
It's, as you were saying, those soft skills.
Definitely.
That emotional quotient is a term I used before. Do you think that can be taught to someone, or do you think that is innately?
It has to be innately part of your temperament. But you can learn it. You can self-tune it. You can undergo development, business development, self-development, which I've done constantly. I still do. I still have a coach, a life coach, and I speak to her once a month. And
who is that? Can we know?
She's in the UK. She's not here. I've known her since I was in the UK. And I think to be successful, to be truly successful, you need to affirm others. You need to make others feel good about themselves. You need to know that you're not self-made. Nobody is self-made that is successful. There's a team behind me. There's a team behind any successful man or woman. There's a partner where you choose a good life partner. There are parents, there are siblings, there's a support system that holds you. It takes a village to bring up a child, and it takes a community to make you successful. So I've never, ever taken it for granted or taken it upon myself to think I've been a success on my own. You're not self-made. It's a journey that involves your staff. And on that point, there's so many friends of mine or colleagues who don't respect their staff, who I don't feel give their staff enough acknowledgement and respect. And I think that's unfortunate, because your staff are your golden nugget. They are your welfare. They are your goodwill, because patients speak to the staff and they can pick up the atmosphere, the respect. The energy, the karma. So it's very important that you look after your staff and they will look after you, and they'll talk about, it's very important that people talk well about you behind your back. That's your reputation. It's no good people praising you in front of you. It's what they say about you when you're not around. That's important. And again, my parents taught me to have an integrity. And what is integrity? Integrity is when your personal identity and your public persona are in sync. So you're not living a false lie. You're not living a facade.
Your authentic self.
Exactly. You'd be in your authentic self. Live your life. And I think a successful person lives life, accepts life as it is with all its challenges. You need to be emotionally healthy to be successful. So how do you become emotionally healthy? I think you need to tune into who you are, be centered, be mindful. I think Buddhism is a wonderful religion because they teach you about being mindful. And I'm learning a lot about that. Being in the now, enjoying the moment, enjoying the journey. And it's taken me a long time to get to this place of peace. And I think I'm getting to the stage of my life where I've only got maybe 5 years left of dental practice. And I'm in a good place in my life. I'm at peace.
Why is that? From a health perspective?
No, I'm healthy and fit and strong, but I mean, how long am I going to live? I don't see myself living very old. I don't know. I thought I'll be lucky and grateful if God spares me until 80. My wife gets angry with me when I say that. She says I'm going to live till 100, but I wouldn't like to. I wouldn't like to overstay my welcome. I don't want to be a burden on my children. I never want to have the indignity of being, bedridden so. It's a blessing if you can, die a peaceful death. It's a blessing. I pray for that, and I hope it will be my future.
My question was more about, it seems like you've got a very finite time that you've allocated to dentistry. Why is that? Where did that number come from?
I'm tired, Yak. I'm tired. My hands are sore, my neck's sore. It's exhausting.
So you think it is from a health perspective that us dentists have an expiry date?
I think so. I mean, I've got mates who are in their 80s and they're still practicing. They're lucky that they're still very, that there's no shakes and tremors. But I'm not giving it a finite date. But I've said to myself at the back of my mind, I'll give it another 5 years. I'm hoping Chelsea will be my exit strategy. But at this stage, she's telling me there ain't no chance of that. I think she's seen too much of the stress that I've, gone under. So she's
doesn't take over the practice.
Yeah. I'd like her to.
Do you work out? I mean, because you've got banging calves and those forearms.
Shirtless.
I do.
Okay.
I do, but it's not easy at my age.
Exercise is important for you guys,
Exercise is very important, but it's taken me years to become disciplined. As a youngster, I was a good swimmer.
Okay.
So in my youth, I swam for the Free State. The Orange Free State used to be a province that you've probably never heard of.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you have? You're not that young.
Yeah.
So I was a competitive swimmer, but then starting dental school, I just let things slide. And in my adult life and immigrating, there was no ways I could do gym. So I put on a lot of weight. I became lazy, lethargic, and my health wasn't good. And then I took a firm step, I think in my late 40s.
Right.
And I just said, look, this is it. I've
Why?
got to lose weight.
Did something trigger that?
Yes, I needed a hip replacement. I was very young. I think I was 50 and they diagnosed stage 4 arthritis in my right hip. But he said to me, look, if you can lose 20 to 30 kilos, it would make a huge benefit to your recovery. And I did that. I was very, very strict with myself, with my wife's guidance, with medical help, of course. And I did lose 30 kilos.
Wow. Well done.
And I stuck to my eating regime. And I still go to gym 3 times a week. I don't have a hectic workout, but I mean...
Are you a morning person or?
No, morning person.
Oh,
definitely.
Right at 5.
I'm up at 4:30, 5. That's my favorite time. That's my time. Where the birds, to see the sunrise, feel the fresh air. It's quiet. I go on walks when I'm not working. I love hiking. That's become a new passion.
So that's where the carbs come from. Or...
Well, who knows? They say it's genetic, but I don't know.
Norman Carvey.
I've just done the Camino. I don't know if you've heard of the Camino.
Yes, yeah. The trail in Spain.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Oh, okay.
I did 150 kilometers hike. I took 12 days, but still, it was hectic. In the rain, in the mud, in the cold. And yeah, it was a challenge, I've done some crazy things, but I mean...
I wish I was a morning person. So what crazy... I mean, when I think of you, I also think of Miss South Africa, beauties.
Oh, yes.
How does that get into your life?
A few years, a good 20 years ago, one of the ex-Miss South Africas was my patient. And she said to me, Dr. Norman, we're looking for a sponsor for the Miss South Africa pageant because you cannot be a beauty queen if you don't have good skin and you don't have a good smile. And we want to bring a reputable dentist on board who will offer the winner a winning smile or maybe create a winning smile. And I accepted the challenge. It was on the cusp of social media taking place. And I thought, well, it's a way of also uplifting my my presence and awareness. So I took the challenge and it's just followed me through all these years. I'm quite involved in a lot of pageantry. Miss Supranational, Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss South Africa, Mr. World, Mr. Gay World, Miss Deaf World, Miss Wheelchair.
What do you do there?
I look after their teeth, the winner's teeth for a year.
Okay.
And in repayment, they do PR for me.
Okay.
I mean, it's not major PR, but I mean, it's doing me no harm. I enjoy having the interaction, but I've turned it around because I've used the platform, Beauty with a Purpose, which is the Miss World platform, and I've synced it with our community outreach program where we bring in orphans every year and we let the beauty queens, the top 12 girls, meet these orphans and act as mothers and caregivers for the day and make them experience their first dental visit in a non-threatening environment. So I'm using the women, exposing them to these impoverished children. They're usually HIV orphans. We adopt a different home every year and we give them pro bono dental work. And that's so satisfying and so gratifying.
So, that's actually the first time I came to know about your practice because I met Chelsea at, I think it was called a Brennemark Institute or something like that.
Yes.
And it was through the to the Pediatric Association.
Correct.
And then I wasn't allowed to practice at that stage. I just came back to South Africa. And I went to just help out and offer my services. And it was Yufti and myself.
And
there.
she was doing the children.
And, Chelsea was there.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, this is like so cool. A big practice like this is still, reaching out to the community.
Absolutely.
And doing what they
We
need.
do a lot of pro bono work. And that's why I've got no qualms in charging what we charge. Because, I mean, you've got to look after yourself. You're running a business. You need to be profitable. I mean, we offer a great service. You know, we certainly don't over-service patients. We certainly don't rip patients off. We're very honest, very transparent.
Where is your practice?
I'm in Parktown North. We got we bought a prosthodontic practice. My brother Emile is a prosthodontist, Chelsea and I. So we're all in a group practice in Parktown North.
You mentioned social media. At that time, it was the cusp of social media.
Yeah.
I see you've embraced it. I mean, what's your thoughts on social media? I mean, I know a lot of dentists
It's part of us. It's here and it's not going to go away.
Yeah.
And I mean, it started with Facebook. It's now Instagram is just booming. Now it's Threads. Then it's TikTok, YouTube.
Are you in all of those things?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I want to. But you know, I've often taken on a PR company to help me with my social media, and it's never been successful, really.
Okay.
Because what happens is they don't really know the nitty-gritty of dentistry. They're marketing people, they're PR people, but dentists is a unique profession. You know, they can't do a before and after shot. So they're still asking me for content and asking me for the script and asking me for photos. I may as well do it myself.
Yeah.
And they want 10,000 Rand a month. So,
you do your own social media.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I charge my practice now.
Well, that's clever.
Yeah.
That's the
I feel
clever
like I'm
thing.
good at it.
You can see he's got a
you are
financial
good at
advisor.
it.
Yeah.
You've got the most magnificent setup, yeah.
Yeah, but then also it was a few months ago. I wanted to ask you about this. I never got the opportunity. Something bad happened with one of your accounts. It was hacked.
Oh, I lost all my followers.
Yeah, that was
Somebody
actually
hacked
very
my
sad.
our Facebook page and our Instagram page. We had 10,000 followers, and we lost everything, and we could not retrieve it. I don't know how it happened or what happened. I don't know if it was professional jealousy or if it was genuine. I mean, I can't see anyone wanting to hack a dental practice.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like cyber crime or something. I mean, they got nothing out of it except destroying my social media presence. So we've started all over again, but I mean, it has affected us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost everything.
Did you get any help from Instagram?
I tried. I got nothing. Nothing. We couldn't retrieve a thing.
Yeah.
All our posts, all our threads, all our videos, our reviews, it really was a setback.
Yeah, that's one thing that scares me.
You need to be very secure online. Make sure that you're incredibly, your online presence is secure.
Aren't you worried about, when you put yourself out there, you open yourself up to criticism, all sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother.
It does bother me. It does. It scares me. And but what's your choice?
Yeah.
Not to be present online, and then you just fall on the wayside because it's the only way of marketing yourself.
So you think it's that important now? You can't just be a dentist and practicing.
You can. It's your choice. But I mean, I've been brought into this with all these high-flying campaigns that I've been associated with. And it's part of who I am, it's part of what people expect me to do. I mean, I don't want to come across as arrogant, and I hope I don't come across as arrogant or
not to me,
big-headed, or because that's the last thing I want to do. I'm acutely aware of.
But isn't that the problem, right? I feel no matter what you put out there will always be a critic, even if you put out the most perfect thing.
Always,
there'll be somebody to criticize and somebody to find fault with it.
Yeah.
I remember Mark one time joked with us when I posted a photo of you and me, and he said, "You didn't do I didn't do the
Dr. Norman
Dr.
pose,
Cahi,
the big boss."
Is that a natural pose or?
Yes,
and
I'm just used to it.
You need to practice that afterwards and take one for the.
Oh, he's got fantastic bars.
Yeah, works out a little bit. Yeah.
It's just what do you do with your hands?
Yeah.
I don't like putting them straight like that, like for Prince Charles, or hands behind the back. It just comes naturally.
It's a unique way of folding your arms compared to, we'll talk about it off screen. I mean, for the people that are listening, they're going to be wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
If you look at my pictures, I'm always like this. In fact, you know what happened recently? Yeah. I lost my Apple Watch. So I contacted my insurers and I said, listen, I've lost my Apple Watch. I need to get insurance. They says, well, you got to prove ownership. I said, it's 10 years old. I don't have the...
Okay.
So they said, okay, well, just send us a pic with your watch. You won't believe. I could not find a picture with my watch because in every bloody picture, my hands were like, and I thought, this is karma.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very unique.
So anyway, eventually I found a picture with my watch on and I sent it to them and I've just got my new claim.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
So that serves me right for always standing like that. But sometimes it identifies you as what you are. It becomes your personal logo.
Yeah, that's
People laugh at me and mock me, but I mean,
it's part of the brand. I don't.
yeah, part
Yeah.
of the brand.
I don't think they're mocking. It's just
Well,
yeah. And how's it like? So you've been in the game 45 years, and you mentioned something about professional jealousy. How is it like competition-wise? I mean, are dentists competitive?
Very, very competitive.
Yeah, openly or
No.
Not openly. It's very undercover, but it's there. You feel it.
I think it's becoming more open. In fact, let's talk about your most recent post, right? You and I met at an event on, when was it? Wednesday?
Yeah, at the launch, yes.
So there were a very select group of people that were invited. In fact, we were invited as influencers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. My invite said influencer.
Yes.
And I didn't think anything of it. I'm very oblivious to this sort of stuff. You picked it up and you did mention in your post you are privileged to be while 12.
There were only 12 of us invited.
Yeah. And there was someone else that saw that and actually asked me, like, how come you guys were invited?
Really? A dentist?
Why was I not invited?
Oh, really?
Initially, I thought it was a joke. Like, I mean, we don't choose who gets to go to these things. But I think this person actually was offended that not invited. But that speaks to the point of professional jealousy. It's not like what we even do within our practice.
No.
It's how we associate ourselves in our social environment.
Yeah. But it's the way, how you treat the people. I mean, I have a lot of colleagues who give no time to reps that walk into their practice. They don't show respect. They don't give them the time of day, and then they expect to be invited to launches of products. Or it goes both ways. I had never done that. I treat all the reps with respect. I give them undivided attention, even if it's 5 minutes. I greet them. I sit with them. Just they are doing their job. So give them a difficult job. So give them the courtesy of speaking to them, meeting them, greeting them. That's all. They don't want blood from you. And I think over the years, that's how I've developed a fantastic relationship with most companies. Colgate, Siemens, Oral-B, Curaprox. They never say no to me if I ask them for anything. And I often have campaigns where I need to give out samples, brushes, toothpaste. And honestly, the reps are fantastic. The dental companies always come to my
I always had a soft spot for dental companies because even at other practices that I used to work at, there was never time for them. Look, you can also understand that the practitioners are busy. And sometimes
we're busy, and they do intrude because they never make a point. Yeah, they usually just arrive.
Yeah,
but I think
they do it by geographical.
Yeah, they just arrive. And often bearing scones and chocolates and sweets and flowers. So you do feel a bit awkward. But I mean, whenever possible, I stop what I'm doing just to at least greet them and then send my nurse to talk to them because they're talking to us about new products. I mean, we owe it to ourselves to be on top of our game.
Yeah.
Know about the latest products, techniques, materials.
Exactly. So I wanted to just chat about your brother, Emile. He's a prosthodontist, right?
Yeah.
So is he older than you, younger than you?
No, he's 5 years younger.
5 years younger.
Yeah.
So he got into dentistry just as you were finishing.
Yeah, that's right. I was in 5th year when he started. Okay. And I like to think I was influential in him becoming a dentist. But I mean, he is, in my opinion, the best in the country in terms of prosthodontics. He's really got a fantastic name, a fantastic reputation. I'm very proud to be associated with him. I've learned a lot from him. Chelsea's learned a lot from him. And I'm honored to call him my brother. I mean, he served as president of the Prostho Society. He's always called upon to be an expert witness if there's an issue in the profession. So, I regard him as highly successful, and even though he's 5 years younger, I look up to him, I admire him.
And you didn't have any intent, or you never wanted to specialize in anything at the beginning?
Driving, I was thinking about my career, and I thought, what am I going to say? And I remember now, I don't know if you remember Prof. John Lemmer. None of you were at Wits, so you wouldn't know him. He was a stalwart in our profession. He was the head of perio at Wits, and any Wits guys who are listening to this will acknowledge what I say. He was the go-to guy for anything. He was our hero, and he was head of perio. And when I graduated, I remember him calling me in and saying, I want you to do perio and oral medicine. I'll never forget that moment because it was such an honor for him to ask me to apply. But in that moment, all I wanted to do was see the back of those revolving doors that we walked out of dental school. It was the last place I ever wanted to even enter. So I ran, I ducked, and I never went back to dental school for years afterwards. Really, I left traumatized because of what they did to us. I mean, I don't know if you used to do orals before as a final exam. It was nerve-wracking. We were finished, to sit and wait for that oral exam.
I can totally relate to what you're saying. Traumatized is the right.
Traumatized, genuinely traumatized.
I had to go back to campus a couple of years after I qualified because Yufti was still studying there, and I used to get like the chills.
Exactly.
PTSD
Your heart
almost.
palpitated.
Yeah.
I mean, they put the fear of God in you. They thought, or I was told that they did that especially to teach the students how to cope under stress and pressure. But I'm not so sure if it was a good teaching method, because it left a bad taste in our mouths. None of us look back on our years and think, wow, what a fantastic time we had at varsity,
Yeah. Yak was the only guy in his class.
With all women.
The only person, in his class.
Oh, the only human being.
The only human being.
Why?
Well, the lecturer was human as well.
Yeah.
But it's a long story.
The only person. It's incredible. So you had individual tuition.
Yeah, when I got to Mauritius, I failed
Incredible.
engineering, and then I got exiled to this island, and I got to Mauritius. I started dentistry there, and then I failed. But then that year was the last intake that they had, so everyone moved on. But I was the last person.
Is that so?
Yeah. So, I mean, people thought that they were either going to just pass me or close the university down.
Really?
But I think there was some political interference, and I was kept on. So my courses subsequent to the first year, all one-on-one.
Really?
That's why I say Yak
You
might
need
be...
to do a podcast with him.
No, we had done.
Yeah.
Oh, have
He
you?
was the first episode.
Oh.
Yak wasn't a co-host until he gave me like a trial run of a few episodes just to see if I faffed around, and then he realized, okay, he can join me.
Really?
So he was the first guest that
I had to vet Yash.
took the plunge.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But I think he might be probably one of the only few people in the world that had one-on-one dental school.
I've never heard of that.
Year.
So you mean they've closed the dental school?
Yeah, well, since then, I was the last graduate, and then the dental school closed. But I mean, to your point that, that teaching style, I think it probably worked for some other people.
Really?
It worked for me. It had to.
Why were they tough on you?
I mean, one-on-one, it's like, this was our lecture.
Horrendous.
And you can't look
pressure,
anywhere.
the
You don't
pressure.
have a phone.
You can't crib?
No, nothing. So, but I needed it because I was
really?
naughty. I mean, I was very...
You're still naughty. I can see it. You can see in his eyes and his hair.
My hair, yeah.
Yeah, this is a naughty boy.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
So?
No, I mean, what do you think is next?
For me?
Yeah.
Traveling. I'm leaving next Thursday to Australia. I've just come back from Lebanon and Cairo. And my wife and I travel. We love traveling. We go to beautiful places. We stay in top places. We're spending our money on that.
We've mentioned your wife a few times. I mean, is she in healthcare or not really?
No, my wife's actually becoming a very well-known South African artist.
Okay.
She's trained as a beauty therapist. She practiced for the first few years as a beauty therapist, but she was always artistic, always creative. Her home's beautiful. She dresses beautifully. She takes inspiration in fashion and food. She's a wonderful hostess. And in my opinion, she's a beautiful woman. But when COVID hit, we were so bored, we had nothing to do. And she started painting again. She just started, and we couldn't get any canvases. All the shops were closed. And so what she hit on is starting to paint pop art on newspaper cuttings. And you cannot believe how it's taken off. People are buying her art daily. She's now supplying, she's got a gallery in Vancouver, in Montreal, 2 in Cape Town, 2 in Johannesburg, and her works are hanging all over the world in boardrooms, in homes across the world.
That's amazing.
She is and for anyone listening, I'd love them to follow my wife. She's on Instagram.
Yeah, I follow her.
Oh, you do?
Tell us.
The first time you posted.
On Insta, it's art by Alida Cahi. Art, A-R-T by Alida, A-L-I-D-A, Cahi. And she just puts out the most beautiful.
How did you guys meet? Because usually, people meet in dental school and all these.
No, we met at her grand's home. It was quite funny. The Lebanese people, like the Jewish people, they like to matchmake and integrate. And I was invited to the grand's home for a party.
It sounds very Indian also.
Yeah, we are so similar.
Is she Lebanese? Yes.
Yes, no, she's Lebanese, 100% Lebanese. And I met her there.
What does Lebanese look like? What do you mean?
Yeah, we're all Lebanese.
Yeah. He said she doesn't look Lebanese.
She doesn't look Lebanese. She's blonde, blue eyes, green eyes. In fact, when we were in Lebanon, they all told me, we see you married a Dutch person. The one guy says, you married a Dutch woman. I said, no, she's not Dutch. Is she Jewish? I said, no, she's not Jewish. I said, she's more Lebanese than me. But yeah, that's how we met, and we became friends. For 4 years, we would just remain friends. I was very slow.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on. And then eventually, when I went into the army, I just realized I'd fallen in love with her, and we started corresponding. In those days, we had to write letters. That's how old I am. And get letters delivered, hand delivered. And and it took off from there.
Yak and I used to write letters to each other.
To each other? You cousins. You cousins, aren't you?
Yeah, but we had a cell phone. Our dads had a cell phone.
Oh.
We thought it was fun to write letters.
Yak lived in He's a Maritzburg boy.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah. He's from the Sleepy Hollow called Maritzburg.
I believe all the Maritzburg people are moving to the Midlands. Is there truth in that?
Yeah, I'm actually from, Maritzburg is in the Midlands.
Oh, is it in the Midlands? Oh, my geography is not great, but I've just been told.
Yeah.
Even the dentists want to get out of Maritzburg.
And so, traveling now, but you've traveled all over the world. I mean,
I haven't been all over the world. I haven't been to Portugal. I mean, a lot of places I haven't been to. Australia's my first time I'm visiting there.
What's the best country that you've been to? What's your favorite? Can you say that?
London's my favorite city on this planet.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
People think I'm crazy, but probably it's an affinity because it's home from home. But I just love the way it works. I love the way the British people are so civilized and organized and stand in queues and wait their turn.
You haven't been to Japan, have you?
I haven't. And that's what people tell me. It's a life-changing experience. Have you?
Yeah, no, I have. But everything you sing, it's like on steroids.
Yeah, I believe. That is definitely on my bucket list, Japan. My wife and I want to do that in the cherry blossom season, but it's an expensive exercise. Yeah. So we want to do that. Next year, we booked to do a Danube cruise down the Danube, see Vienna, Austria, Budapest, Prague. I mean, the world's a beautiful place. If you can afford it and you've got the ability and the opportunity, why not take it? How do I know I'm going to be healthy in 5 years' time, or fit, or strong, or even here?
Yeah.
So I've told my kids, I said, look, we're living your inheritance out. We're going to be spending the money.
Well, what are they saying? No, stay home. Don't travel. Did you never encourage them to emigrate also?
I did. That's why my son's gone. Okay. I did, very much so.
Why, just to broaden the mind? Or
broaden their mind, because today things aren't unduly terrible in South Africa. I mean,
it's good. Life's good.
Life's good. We have our challenges, but we still live a damn good life. A very privileged life.
And don't you think there's for me personally, I mean, we very pro-South African, both.
Yeah, so am I.
But also at the same time, you still live in this constant, fear that maybe we're wrong. Maybe this stuff is going bad.
Yeah,
you're very naive, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like there's this purge happening at the moment where everything that has been causing the distress is coming to light.
Yeah.
And it's giving me optimism that, if we hold the people that run us accountable, that they can be a change that can be effective.
Look, there's a lot of corruption here, but then isn't there corruption everywhere? London, England, America. There's corruption everywhere. So, I mean, where's safe? And there's so much hatred in this world. There's so much anti-Semitism going on in this world. It's so sad what's happening in Israel, what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in Yemen, wherever you go, so... I think we're actually quite safe and happy and lucky to be in South Africa. I really do.
Yeah. Also far from natural disasters.
Absolutely. Natural weather disasters. Yeah. Look what's happening in the Philippines and the...
Bali as well.
Bali,
Before we go too far down the Danube, I wanted to just touch on dentistry. Where do you think dentistry is heading? I mean, you are at the end stages. You want to retire soon.
Well, I tell you, AI is going to revolutionize what's going on in the world. I mean, it's one of the few professions that cannot be AI generated or directed. But certainly, I've had companies approaching me. They're wanting to change my practice management, my account system, everything, have it AI driven. So that is definitely, we're on the cusp of the AI revolution, like the Industrial Revolution. So I think that's where it's heading. I mean, I qualified in 1984, just to think. I never knew what an implant was. We never knew what HIV was. We never practiced with gloves. That is how archaic we were. Think of it. I mean, the practice of dentistry when I qualified is so poles apart from the practice of dentistry now. It's mind-boggling. So if I didn't stay on trend and go to continuing education courses and better myself, where would I have been?
You guys used to put your fingers in patients' mouth,
Absolutely.
raw dogging it. Sure.
For extractions, for surgicals, hands in. I can't remember. I'm sure we had masks. I can't remember. But we definitely never had gloves.
And you were okay with that? Like it was...
We weren't okay, but it was just accepted. What must we do?
Wow.
I didn't think or I didn't feel squeamish, but that is the genuine truth. I remember one lecture being told...
Was it better?
No, never. I can't even think of doing something now.
I mean, a patient would be like this, but salty. What did you have? But
if you just had curry for lunch and you got stuck in. No, it was different. So, you know, then in 1989, 1990, teeth whitening became a revolution and it totally transformed this dentistry. I was one of the pioneers of teeth whitening in South Africa. Again, I was taught that in England and I brought it to South Africa. I didn't bring it, but I mean, I was one of the very few practices that started it. It changed the face of dentistry. I mean, today, teeth whitening is one of the single most sought after dental procedures that people want.
And you guys do Zoom teeth whitening, am I correct?
We do many systems. Yeah, we've got the Zoom light, we've got opalescence, we've got polar white, we've got a lot of different teeth whitening. Then in the 2000s, Botox and fillers became the thing. Another boost to the industry. And today we're doing a lot of that. Now of course, implants changed the face of dentistry forever. I mean, that's been the most fantastic part of dentistry. But as you say, the future, I don't know, they're working on stem cells, on regenerating teeth, the actual tooth material. I don't know where it's going. I mean, we've been down the road of the wand, which is, I don't know if you've heard of the wand, giving local anesthetic. Yeah, I've tried that. And, I've tried all the gimmicks, but sometimes you just go back to the old familiar.
Your story is amazing. You went from treating patients with no gloves on
to COVID.
To whitening, to COVID, to implants.
Everything.
Aligners, now clear aligners.
Oh, yes, that's the thing I needed to mean. That's really changing the face of dentistry. Unfortunately, the orthodontists aren't too happy about it, and I don't blame them. It's their bread and butter, and there's no ways any of us can even think that we can compete with an orthodontist. So I'm acutely aware, and I still refer a lot of advanced cases to my orthodontic mates and colleagues, and I've got all the time and respect in them. But it is something different to do.
Yeah.
It is a practice builder. It is a money spinner if it's done correctly, diagnosed properly, managed and orchestrated and supervised. And I do a lot of it. Again, I think I was one of the forefront when Elton approached me many, many years ago. I think it must be 5-6 years ago. So I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting good results. So yes, that is definitely something. Clear aligners are definitely here to stay. Yeah. Even the orthodontists are doing it.
And they know, I speak to orthodontists quite a lot. I mean, my wife's one, right? And I say to them...
Oh, your wife's an ortho?
Yeah, I say newly qualified. She started private this year.
Right.
And she loves it when I mention her on the podcast. So shout out to Yufti. Love you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
she's a very lucky girl to have you.
Of course.
She's a lucky woman.
Yeah, tell her mom that. Tell her mom that.
And he's a patient.
Is he the patient?
Yeah.
Are you having a line?
Free Invisalign, yeah.
Have you got it in now?
Yeah. I've been wearing...
Have you focused on his aligners? Look at this.
16 trays or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Smile for the camera. Look at that. You can't even see it.
No, but I need to go for whitening, so I'll speak to you.
Well, I hope you're going to come to Cahi Dental.
Yeah, I'll do a...
But in the beginning, when he started the podcast, it affected
his speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't it a fantastic thing?
Yeah, I think
so. What stage are you
magical. No, I'm on tray 16 of 16 or whatever you call it.
And then you're going to stay with your retention.
Well, then my orthodontist, who's my wife, tells me that they might need to do some refinement and things like that. But it's been an interesting journey. It's also led me to a thing called OMAD. Ever heard of that? 1 meal a day, OMAD.
Oh yeah, that's a great diet.
Yeah, I've lost kgs.
Really?
Yeah, I'm disappearing because of that. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about you now. No, let's go back to you.
No, well, I do active aligners daily.
Okay.
We do a lot of it.
I mean, it sounds like you're telling me all these stories. It sounds like fun. So I'm wondering, why would you want to stop this in 5 years' time?
Because you're a pioneer. If I had to think about the word to describe you, you're like a pioneering dentist. From gloves to actually using aligners. Look how far you've come.
Yeah, I've come a long way.
Yeah.
It's taken a lot. It's taken a lot. You need to have the right mindset and you need to want to improve yourself and you need to be hungry and thirsty, And at the same time, you need to be ethical. So I've attended a lot of courses where they say dentistry is a selling profession. You have to sell your work. But then I've also read books where they talk about ethical selling, and it has to be ethical. And being a Christian, I believe I keep God central into my life. I keep God central in all my decisions, and I go to bed and I put my head on the cushion and I know that what I've done has served my patients. Yes, we've made mistakes. Yes, I've done wrong things, of course. But I mean, I'm talking to the great DPL guy here. In my 45 years,
what you say.
In my 45 years, I've probably had to contact DPL 3 or 4 times in 45 years.
That's a good track record. Yeah.
I mean, I think, I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
It's not easy staying on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
If you're a dishonest guy, dentistry is the profession for you. You can hide anything and everything. You can talk. You can tell the patient anything. They're going to believe you because they trust you. But are you going to live with yourself? It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth having. That's why there's so much depression amongst us. There's so much, God forbid, suicide. I mean, a lot of dentists choose to take their life, become drug dependent, alcohol abuse, divorce rate, heart attack rate. I just did a Facebook post talking about it's very sad.
Did you encourage Chelsea to become a dentist? How did that happen?
I didn't, but she was so...
Or did you discourage it?
I didn't discourage her, but I didn't overly encourage her. I was just quietly happy and chuffed that she chose it. My wife actively encouraged her, much to her credit. My brother encouraged her, but I was on the line because I knew what a life I was having. It was tough. Yeah, it was really tough. She's happy as a dentist, but I can't say it's her dream career.
Yeah.
She's not flying high.
Well, we'll have to get her on and ask her herself, right?
Yeah, ask her. She's a very competent clinician. I'm very proud of her, and she's got a good name, and she's developing her own clientele, especially amongst the children. Kids love her.
No, but that's the point. The point I was getting at is, you said it's not. You don't think it's her dream career, right? I always wonder
what is.
No, who has dentistry as their dream career?
I don't know. I don't think anybody.
Yeah,
but I mean, you've just interviewed an esteemed CA.
Yeah.
Would you say that's his dream career?
Yeah, it's just fascinating.
Prof.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he's...
No, Prof knew he wanted to become a
CA.
CA, yeah.
Oh, really?
But dentistry specifically, because of all the stuff you just mentioned, the high suicide rate, depression, anxiety, stress, patients coming in telling you they hate you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if somebody comes to you now and says, Dr. Cahi, I've seen your interview, I'm inspired by you, I want to be a dentist, what would you say to that?
If it's a male, I would say go for it.
Okay.
It's still a good profession. You'll earn well. And if it's a young girl, I'd say if you don't want to be a full-time dentist, it's still good for you because you can manage to be a homemaker, a mother, and practice dentistry half day. But I wouldn't, if there was even a hope or a glint of them doing something else, I would say probably follow something else because it's really a tough profession. It's taken its toll on me. It really, really has. I've had a hip replacement. I've had joint replacements in my wrists.
Yeah.
I need hearing aids. My vision's affected. I mean, I'm sorry I have to...
No, I appreciate this because people see you and think, wow, glitzy, glamorous, travels the world.
That's the danger of social media. You come across as living a falsely happy, exuberant, profitable life.
But you are living that, right?
I'm living a wonderful life, and I'm very grateful to God for it. But I'm always a bit worried. Am I coming across as portraying a false life?
Okay.
Which is not false. I mean, that is how I'm living.
I get you.
But I'm very grateful.
But people don't realize that it comes with all this baggage.
It comes with so much. There's a lot of negativity to dentistry. It's taken its toll on me mentally, physically. I've been depressed. I've been stressed. I've been at burnout. I've gone to fat farms. I've gone to health spas. I've had to seek psychotherapists. I've done a lot. Business development, business coaching, lifestyle coaching, dietitians, nutritionists. I have done a lot. But I'm happy and I'm here and I'm still carrying on.
I mean, and thank you for being so open and candid with us.
Of course.
It's appreciated. Anything else you want to talk about or mention?
No, I'm very proud of you guys.
Why?
You're young.
Yeah.
You on trend.
Come on, stroke our egos more. Come
absolutely. You've got great names. He's got a fantastic reputation.
Good looking, handsome.
Very handsome. Very good looking, both of you. You've got the world at your feet. There's some lucky woman waiting for him. And you've got the, I'm sure, wonderful,
Yeah, you were
beautiful
asking
wife.
me because I was giving you the tour of his practice, right? And you
Yeah,
said,
I said, but is he married? Because this is a very, there's a feminine touch here.
you know, that's when I first got the Indian in you, because like are you already trying to hook him up with someone?
Of course. My head's spinning. He must have, but I'm sure there's a line around the block for Dr.
Any
Yak.
comments?
Nah, but no, I just wanted to say, like you proud of us. We what are we trying to do? We're trying to revolutionize the way people see. Well, what I'm trying to do is revolutionize the way people see dentistry.
Absolutely.
Especially the
Healthcare.
youngsters. Yeah, healthcare, not just dentists. We have a lot of like varied guests. But that being said, like I'm also like proud of you because
Thank you.
kept the profession going like in its darkest times through COVID.
Oh, it was terrible.
And it's, I mean, as I said before, like your practice is synonymous with like quality and authenticity. It is you as a person.
Thank you.
So
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you for coming on our show. And I really don't think you've got 5 years left. I think there are things in dentistry that you like.
I do.
And I think you'll probably hand over the reins to someone, but you'll take on those things part-time. And
Probably.
yeah.
I hope you're right. Yeah, stay on. Just carry on.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I've enjoyed it. I've loved it. And it's nice to talk about your life's experience. Nobody's really interested. You're the first people that have asked me about my life. So thank you. It's been a great privilege. And I look forward to seeing the podcast.
Yeah. Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
Ciao. Bye.
Oh, you guys are top.
Oh, that was good.
Was it?
Yeah.